Listen, if you're in the game of real estate, at some point, you're gonna tap at your credit. And today's question, what are you gonna do when you actually run out of credit? Is there anything you can do? Are you doomed? Is it the end? Or is it just the beginning? So check this out. When you get in the game of real estate, you're eventually going to run out of credit. How much credit can a bank actually lend to you? Well, right now you can generally have upwards of 10 properties. Most banks, once you get 10 properties on your credit, they're not going to lend you anymore. Now you could sell a property and then replace it with another. So on the one hand, yay to get up to 10, but boo that you can't actually do more. Today I want to talk about what do you do to actually get around this banking system that can really throw a serious wrench in your system. Well, my solution is pretty simple. I call it a credit partner. What the heck is a credit partner? Well, you might be able to divine it. A partner is someone that you're going to be working with, and you're working with them to actually use their credit. And I want you to understand, how do you find these credit partners? What is their role and responsibility? What types of credit partners there are? Because if you understand this knowledge, I'm empowering you today to go beyond and continue building a successful real estate portfolio without getting stuck. Let me show you how I actually got here. So I was partnered with my father-in-law, and we actually got up to 10 properties. And then all of a sudden, we were just getting ready to buy our next property. And guess what? Banks came back and they said no. And I thought, what do you mean no? Like, can't we just keep buying more? And the bank said no. Then we went to the next bank and they said no. We went to the next bank and they said no. So I thought, we have to sell something to buy something new, but that's so limiting. So what we ended up doing was I went to a couple of buddies of mine that had good financial situations, hadn't really bought real estate, but liked to hang around me and just, I don't know, they liked to learn about what I was doing. And I said, hey, would you mind being a credit partner? And they said, what's that? I said, I don't know, I'm making it up. But I think what it means is, can you kind of be a spare wheel to the team and just put up your credit and we'll pay you for that? And you know what they said? What are you going to pay me? Or you're going to pay me for just using my credit? Yeah, Kris, you got a great track record. How do you do that? So when I credit partner with someone, the first step I got to do is I got to get them qualified. I got to find out whether they're actually going to be a good partner. And if they are qualified, then I have to figure out how qualified. There are two types of credit partners in my brain. There are those with money and there are those with no money. Now, what I mean by that is someone can have a good job and they can have good money rolling in, and some people will have actually set money into like a 401k or an IRA or been paying off their house, and others will have good credit but be check to check. For me, I can work with both of these individuals, but I'm looking for the one that actually has money. And here's the reason why. I'll go to that person. In fact, I've got a whole slew of them right now on my laptop because I'm credit partnering on tons of deals with my partners that have the money. And I basically say, hey, here's what I want to do. I want you to buy the next 3 homes in my partnership. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay you, for my credit partners, I pay them a couple grand up front on the deal. So they're like, I just have to qualify. I just use my credit and you'll pay me a couple $1,000s for each home. So I get paid like $6,000. And that's the way I do it. Doesn't mean you have to do it that way, but I want to give them something up front. And then as we get going in the process, when we sell the home years later, we'll also give them a small percentage of proceeds. It usually ends up being a few $1,000s. So literally just for having good credit and not using it, we're actually paying them to do something with it. And my credit partners have really appreciated having that role in the past. They've appreciated being able to get paid that money. And it means that we've been able to continue doing real estate. Now, what are the risks in doing something like this? Well, first of all, if I am bringing the money to the table and you're bringing the credit, if I put 20% down, which is what I normally do, so $40,000, $50,000 on a home, then all of a sudden, if I do something wrong, I lose my own money. I have a built-in incentive not to do that. I don't want to lose my money, which means I'm going to make all of my payments on time, and not to the credit partner, directly to the bank. Well, what's the liability? So the credit partner's over here and maybe thinking, well, if you don't make your payments, then it's going to hurt my credit. And to that I would say, true, but I have a track record of not doing that because I don't like to lose money. And then they say, that really makes sense. If I were you, I wouldn't want to lose money either. Now, as the investor, how can a credit partner hurt me? Well, technically, if they lost their job and all of a sudden they had creditors that were chasing after them, they could attack this home and say, that's on his credit. Attack, attack. Now, we've already taken the home and we've pulled it out and we've put it into an LLC. Stands for a limited liability company. This is the entity that we use to hold our real estate. So that has created a layer of protection. You want to know what the biggest layer of protection is? To find the best credit partner. So I'm going to tell you right now my little secret. It's a little cheat secret on how do I find a perfect credit partner. They are a certain type of individual. This is going to sound very judgmental. So, well, you can judge me if you want. I'm looking for an engineer-minded person. This is an oracle. This is a person that is a blueprinter. This is a person that has to see everything add up and they ask a million questions and they want to understand all the details. Those people tend to have good jobs, great stability, and they tend to be financially conservative. They usually make $80,000 to $100,000 a year, and they usually wear Dockers and button-up shirts and no ties, and they might even wear tennis shoes with their slacks and Dockers, which is really kind of weird. So they're not the most fashion, sensically minded human beings, but they're crazy responsible. They are financially conservative, so they're throwing money. They'll have a 401k, they'll have an IRA, they have a plan to pay off their house, and they feel the strategy of winning in life is to take no risk and to have no debt. That person is a perfect credit partner. That's who I'm looking for. I'm looking for an engineer or a similar type of company industry. And you'll find that those people they're not rich, but they'll never be poor. They're very moderate and they're very conservative, so they'll always have money. The great thing about that person that has the money is they could qualify to buy the house. So the moment I pick the house as the investor, they take it to the bank, they qualify to get it. I think that was driving. They qualify to get it. And then all of a sudden, I give them the money after they buy it saying, thank you, here's all the money you just put on the investment. You've been made whole plus $2,000 more. And they're thinking, awesome, I got paid up front. They're going to take that $2,000 and put it into savings. And then 3, 4, 5, 7 years later, we'll sell that home. And then we're going to give them a percentage off of what we sell the home for at that time. Usually ends up being another $2,000, $3,000. And for my credit partners, that's sufficient. Some people want more than that. It depends who you are and how risky you are and what your track record is. I have a big enough track record that I don't need to offer very much and you can get yourself there. So friends, that's our conversation today on what is a credit partner, what makes a good credit partner, how do you work with your credit partner, and then boom, genie in the lamp. All of a sudden, we just solved the problem that'll allow you to keep on buying real estate over and over and over again. Now listen, if you want to get in the game, because by the way, watching these videos is great, learning is great, but for heaven's sakes, you can't make money until you get in the game. If you're ready to get in the game, what I want you to do is click the link in the description below, and I want you to get with me and my team. What they're going to do is they're going to do a game plan analysis. They're going to say, where are you at and how can we get you in the game? How can we get you buying real estate now? So whether you got no money and no credit, whether you got loads of money, doesn't matter to me. There's a way for everybody to get started. There's a way for you to get started. So start your journey with me right now. Let's do this together. If there's a credit problem, we have a solution. If there's a lack of money problem, we have a solution. If you're still in college, we have a solution. If you don't have a job, we have a solution. I want you to understand that if you're committed to the game of real estate and ready to take action, then I'm committed to you. I will be your mentor, and me and my team, we're gonna help you freaking tear it up. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see you there. For everyone else, dude, thank you for watching today's video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. And otherwise, make sure you are a subscriber and ring that bell, because guess what's happening tomorrow morning? The bell will ring and another video will show up. You will be notified, and we're gonna get you on your next step of your journey to becoming that ultra successful, happy version of you.